What made the marriage counselor charge you $300 to read memes? My wife Cassie accused me of having an emotional affair with my friend Chenny, but when I showed the marriage counselor the texts, she burst out into laughter. 6 months ago, my wife Cassie suddenly held out her hand and asked to see my phone. I handed it over, of course, no big deal, nothing to hide. After reading through everything, she threw it down onto the pillow and yelled, "Where is it? I know you've been having an affair behind my back." I stared at her, half confused and half shocked that she would even think I could cheat when I already had a beautiful wife. "I don't know what you're talking about," I said, before realizing how suspicious it sounded. Cassie's eyes narrowed while my phone buzzed and buzzed again. She opened it up to Chenny's messages and nodded as if her suspicions were confirmed. "Saturday at 7? Can't wait? Well, mind telling me what's going on?" I shrugged. "I don't know yet." "Oh?" she mocked. "What about the flirty nicknames you guys use when you call?" I explained how they were disses. I mean, I literally picked up the phone yesterday and said, "Oh, hi, trash. What's up?" And Chenny had responded with a, "Just checking if plans are still good to go," swamp breath. But Cassie insisted they were flirting disguised as teasing. I sighed and shook my head, wrapping my arms around her. "I promise I'm not doing anything like that behind your back." She was silent, but seemed to calm down at least. But then later that night, when I giggled at my phone for a little too long, she looked at me like she was out for blood. Cassie started telling people she was concerned and felt like a third wheel in her own marriage. But the things she said were blown out of proportion. Her sister called me to yell, "How could you use pet names with other girls? Like, seriously? Pookie? Kitten? You're disgusting." She hung up while I sat there stunned. Where did those nicknames even come from? Her entire family spent the day spamming my phone with angry messages, which honestly only made things worse because Cassie nearly threw my phone in the toilet from all the buzzing and constant accusations. Then, later that night, Cassie reached out directly to Chenny's spouse about her concerns, explaining more clearly than an expert detective exactly how Chenny and I managed to cheat right under their noses. But Alex just laughed loudly on the call and said, "Trust me, you have nothing to worry about." Of course she didn't listen. So that Friday, Cassie booked an emergency session with the most expensive marriage counselor in town. She figured it was to make her case strong enough for a divorce, but boy was I about to prove her so wrong. We entered the marriage counselor's room, which smelled strongly of vanilla candles and disappointment. She stared blankly while Cassie broke down, listing out everything that led to this moment. He shut me out of the relationship, made me feel like I was second place to Chenny. The counselor handed her a box of tissues before looking at me. "Please read the actual messages as we go through this together." I cleared my throat and handed over my phone. "Here's yesterday's urgent conversation, the one with the constant buzzing." The counselor read it out loud. "G, then Gzaskirl, then Pekil Jill." She looked confused. "These are butt dials," I explained. "Chenny keeps her phone in her back pocket." "What about the plans?" Cassie said. I pulled up a hidden group chat and handed it back. "Cassie's secret birthday party, Saturday at 7. Can't wait. Is everyone confirmed? Tell him to pick up pizza, please." Cassie frowned, her own surprise party now revealed at the worst time. The counselor burst into laughter as she looked through the rest of the conversations and pictures, all full of Chenny's cats doing weird things. She saw Chenny spamming my phone asking, "Is it normal for cats to scream at walls? Can cats have an exorcism? Guys, should I go to the vet if my cat ate an entire paper bag? Please help." The marriage counselor took in a deep breath to recollect herself and smiled. "So, the emotional affair is mostly about a cat?" Cassie shrunk into the seat, realizing she'd told everyone we knew about an affair that was actually just cat memes. The secret plans she'd been worried about included her own surprise birthday party, and all the buzzing and constant messages were really just spam that didn't matter. The marriage counselor smiled at the two of us. "While it's good that we've cleared things up, miscommunication is a big issue." She scolded me for being a bad communicator and scolded Cassie for jumping to conclusions. We eventually hugged it out, but of course the session didn't end without Chenny sending a text that made all of us laugh. "Guys, I think my cat just discovered his reflection. Send help."